I have to talk Mo Salah, Gary. His record is phenomenal, and I cannot believe this. Since Project Restart, since that commenced, Mo Salah is the 8th highest scorer at Old Trafford. Again, he's a Liverpool player at Old Trafford, the 8th highest scorer in the last 2 and a bit years.
Yeah, I think he's scored 9 goals now, hasn't he, against Manchester United. Scores tonight and he's into double figures. You know, nobody's scored that sort of number of goals ever in their career against Manchester United. What more can we say about Mo Salah? You know, he's got the lot, hasn't he? You know, he's pacey, he's direct, he finishes well. There aren't enough superlatives to use. In my opinion, an exceptional player that Liverpool have got the best out of.
Chelsea days, you played against Liverpool. I mean, how did you try to set up against Mo Salah when you were with Frank Lampard and getting ready against a Klopp side led by Mo Salah?
You try and limit the amount of supply that he got, which is difficult in itself, because when you have someone that's so quick, if you are trying to limit the supply, that usually means trying to put a bit of pressure on the ball before it gets to him, which means that you're invariably trying to get up the pitch, which then leaves room. And we all know that Liverpool are not shy in putting the ball over the top, and it's been one of their greatest attributes over the years, that they're not frightened of going back to front and catching teams unawares with a pace. But I'm with Gary. I mean, Mo Salah. I mean, first and foremost, I cannot believe that stat, that he's the 8th highest goal scorer. These rivals, huge rivals. Imagine being a Man United fan and hearing that on the show right now. I mean, that absolutely takes some beating. But yeah, Mo Salah, an absolutely, truly world-class player, and great business from Liverpool keeping him at the club.
Yeah. He's also going to be under a little bit more pressure today, perhaps, Alan, because Darwin Núñez isn't involved.
And Jota.
And Jota as well.
I think they've all got, you know, both teams have had their problems in terms of team selection. This is not by far Liverpool's strongest team, and we don't know yet if this is Man United's strongest team. But yeah, there's a lot of talk about Man United. But let's flip it on Liverpool, because they're not firing on all cylinders. But this is a game that could just turn it all around, because we know how important it is. But they've got to start scoring again. And what Jodie's saying, the threat of Salah, the threat of Diaz. I mean, when he came in last year, I thought every right back's looking at him thinking, blimey, you know, what am I up against here? The pace and everything else about him. So, yeah, I think for Liverpool to get back on track, they need these front three to start creating and scoring.
Well, if Diaz can perform or score a goal like he did in the last game, I mean, that was absolutely outrageous, an individual piece of brilliance. I'm with Alan. I think he's a great player, and I think that he'll score again tonight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm putting it out there.
Are you on Twitter?
Yeah, of course.
Can I just double check, what was your prediction for the Leeds-Chelsea?
Third time lucky.
Third time's a charm, as they like to say. Gary, I mean, when you look at the side, Diaz, of course, we know what he's been able to bring to the side, but defensively, Liverpool, I mean, Trent Alexander-Arnold has been criticised more and more recently for his defensive capabilities. We know what he can do going forward.
I think the truth is that when you've hit the heights that Liverpool have tended to hit in recent seasons, yeah, I know they've only won the Premier League once in the last 5 years, and City have won it 4 times. But I think when your standards are that high, when you are playing that well, when Salah's scoring goals for fun, the minute that changes a little bit, people jump on it. OK, so this season, you know, well, Liverpool aren't scoring enough goals. They've actually scored 3 goals in 2 games. So that's enough to win games, it is. The problem is they've also conceded 3 goals in 2 games. So it's about what a team does at both ends of the park, in both boxes. And Liverpool haven't been quite as good so far this season. Only played 2 games, by the way. Haven't been quite as good at scoring goals this season, and they haven't been quite so defensively solid.
You're sitting right in the middle there. It's like glass is half empty and half full at the same time for you, Gary.
Well, exactly.
It's
That's
true,
what it is, because they played 2 and drawn 2.
Yeah.